In this video we're going to go through how to add your Aweber code to the Optin form. Now if you use another autoresponder service you just need to adapt these instructions for your needs. I'm going to be using Aweber because that's the autoresponder service I use, so that's what we'll be using throughout this tutorial. Now I'm also presuming you know how to create a new list in Aweber, as I won't be going through that now. As there's full instructions over on aweber.com. You're also going to need a text editor open, just a plain text editor open, your HTML editor open, and also the PDF version of the installation guide. You'll need that open as well, just for reference when we come to update the Aweber code. So before you begin, you'll need to go over to Aweber, create a new list and set up a basic web form, and come back and follow along. Okay, so we're now in Aweber and I've got my list open. So to get the code that we're going to use in the mini site template, we need to click on the Web Forms tab, and if you've already created a web form then that's going to be displayed here. If you haven't done that yet, just click on this green button here, create a new web form, and follow the steps. It's simple to do, it'll only take you a couple of minutes, and then you'll come back to this screen. So in the web form that you want to use, you click on the link publish. Now we need to make sure that we want the I will install my form. There are other options below, but this is the section we want. When you first open the page, it'll be the JavaScript snippet will be selected, and it's just this small piece of code here. What that does is if you place that on your website, that'll display the basic web form that you've set up in Aweber, and if you need to make any changes to that form, you do that in the Aweber interface on the website. The problem with that is it's using the Aweber form itself. So as we've got a custom form that we're going to use, custom form graphic, we're going to use in our mini site template, we need to select the raw HTML version. So here's your form code, and what Aweber does is it will actually add the code for the styling to display their form to the code, so we don't need that. So we uncheck this little box down here and that will remove most of the styling. So what we need to do is select all this code. So if we just drag our mouse down there and copy that code, then we need to add that to the text editor that we've got open. So I've already done that there, and we need to just put that somewhere that we can reference to later, because that's the code that we're going to need. Now the next step that we need to do is go over to this web address, media.qssdemo.com/awebercode.txt, and that will display this updated code that includes the Optin form graphic for the mini site template, but also the sections that we need to personalize and customize for our Aweber code to go into. So if we select all that code from our web browser and copy that, now head on back over to our HTML editor. Now the HTML editor will the free mini site template will already have the Optin form pre-populated in there, but it's not pre-populated for an autoresponder. So what we need to do is delete the existing Optin form. So if we delete that and then paste the code that we've just taken from the that web page, as you can see, that'll then paste an updated version of the opt-in form with sections for the Aweber code, so you can see Aweber code goes below here. You'll also notice that we've got commented out numbers. Now these numbers refer to the sections of code you need to now go and copy and paste from the Aweber code. So if we go back over, so this is the Aweber code here on the right hand side in the text editor that we copied from Aweber just a moment ago. And then in the installation guide on page 50, you'll also see that the numbers refer to lines of code from your Aweber form. So for example, if we just scroll up, this is similar to the code that you would have copied into your mini site template. So as you can see here, the number 1 section is there. So we look at number 1, and that refers to this line of code: input type, hidden, name, meta web form ID, and then a value. These values in blue are going to be unique to you and your list. So that's why we now need to go over to the text editor, and we need to find this piece of code, meta web form ID. So it's right there at the top. We select that and copy it, then head on over to our HTML editor, find the number 1 and paste over the comment code and the number. There you go, like so. And then we just repeat this step through each of the numbers. So number 2 is for the list name, so that's there. So we select that piece of code, copy it, and then paste it over number 2 in our editor. Number 3 is the redirect. So we copy that, and we need to paste that over number 3. Now what you need to bear in mind here is, as we've pasted that, it has actually broken the code into 2 lines, so we just need to make sure that is all on one line. It may wrap, depending on how your HTML editor works, it may wrap, but at the moment that is actually broken on 2 lines, as if it had been as if you tapped enter on the keyboard to separate the code. So that's in one line, so we go back and get number 4. So number 4 is a meta ad tracking, or meta ad tracking. So we copy that, paste it over number 4, and then the final step is the tracking pixel, which tracks how many displays your web form has got, and you'll be able to see the stats in your Aweber account, and that can, allows you to work out your click-through rate and then your opt-in rate. So all we need from the code is the image code. So we go to the start of the image tag all the way down, copy that, and we find number 5, which is a bit lower down in the code, and we paste that in. And as before, we just need to hit backspace a few times just to make sure all that is displayed on one line, and then we can hit save and then head on back to our web browser, and as you can see, the code is displayed, so that's all set up now for your Aweber code. You can personalize the text, which I'll show you how to do in a second. The cool thing here is how we can hover over the go button, it will change to green, which is that kind of emphasis on click through. So as you can see from the code, as normal, the headline or the call to action is a H2 tag. So we would basically replace the code between those H2 tags, and you can see that I've added the underlying emphasis on the word free. Below that you would have a paragraph using the P tags, and you'd put information about what you need, what they get when they sign up, and what they need to do. So simply fill in your name and email address. And you can also personalize the privacy statement at the bottom, which is we've got here, your privacy safe, we will never share your details ever, and that has been proven to lead to better opt-in rates if you include that piece of text there. So that's it, that covers how to add the Aweber code to your opt-in form.